Okay, family. Now we're gonna continue from where we left off on that. Let me get these books up here. I don't really need it. Okay, so we were talking about Luke and how Yoda was, explaining to him that his beliefs weren't strong enough for him to do a lot of the heavy lifting. That's why the ship was the heavy lifting, was a symbolic message to you that to do the heavy lifting, you have to tighten up your belief systems. In other words, the distance between thought, feeling, and belief, you got to shrink that. You got to get it to the point where thought, in other words, confidence. See, once you get confidence in the system through practice and seeing small results, once you start to get that and build that, your beliefs will strengthen to the point where it's thought and instant happening, because your belief is so you've had so much experience, you don't have any doubt. Doubt is gone. Once doubt is gone, it's instantaneous manifestation. And some people are born that way. Can you imagine that? And some people are. The movie Liar Liar was this little boy. See, a little boy. See, always the little ones. They don't have any doubt. They haven't been taught doubt. You haven't taught them to doubt yet. You've taught everything in school is you got all these fantasies and dreams and say, oh, you can be everything. I know, because I was a little kid and people used to tell me things and I believed them. And when I got older, people, like when I told people I never cheated on any of my wives, and people say, oh, come on, yeah, you had it. I said, no, I believed y'all son of a guns when y'all were telling me you're not supposed to cheat on your wife. I believed you. And young children, they don't know nothing. They believe what you tell them. And see, that belief is what makes them so powerful. See, that makes their imagination very dangerous, because they believe without any equivocation. And let me tell you something. The machine don't care whether you're young or old. Whoever has the strongest belief calls the tune. Simple as that. See? That's a payment to the piper. And that's what calls the tune. Okay? And you got to get your head around that. That's what these two books let me pull this up, and I keep saying I'm going to have this up when I deal with you guys, I'm going to have this up and running. I almost had to do a restart because the computer's screwing up so bad. Okay, yeah, these two cats, I'm focusing on them, but it goes back to Charles Hennell. It goes back to the Rosicrucian. They were saying the same things, but the reason why I said 1/3 of this movie is going to be focusing on the structure. We've talked about that. I'm sorry. 1/3 of my book is focusing on the structure, because I want to change the dynamic. I want to change the thinking dynamic from a God somewhere off in the distance having all the authority and all the power, and you have to pray to that God, and you need the preacher to tell you how to pray to that God in order for you to get what you want. I'm changing all of that. Throw that out the window. That was good for a time when people were just totally out of control. Now, this is the 21st century, folks. We don't need fairy tales and fantasies as much anymore. We can move closer to reality. And the reality is the macrocosmic being, which is you, has decided to create a structure a long time ago. Don't matter. You don't need to worry about that. Get into this right here where you are right now. You have the authority. You were born with it in your own beingness as a microcosmic being. You were authorized to use your thoughts to decide what you're going to think, And when you think it, to put feeling with your thoughts and to get into believing it. And the moment you believe it, the machine is going to create it. Okay? There is another component in this structure. It's called the subconscious mind. Okay? And that too is within you. Everything that is of God is within you, because God is everywhere all the time. Okay? So I'm going to periodically repeat that, but so you can remember, and I want you to connect the dots so that you see why you have this unlimited access. You have access to unlimited power because you have direct access to God, because you are God. You can never not be God, because God is omnipresent, which means everywhere all the time at the same time. And God is also omnipotent, can create and make anything it wants. And that authority was given to you. And that's why your mind is what you got to get control of. And when you don't control it, you get nothing. You just get the body has what they call some autopilot self-preservation mechanisms built into it. And it will take charge of this mind. While you sitting back chilling and being a perennial victim of the flesh, they call it. See, once the flesh takes over the mind, then you are just a virtual victim for your entire life until you decide to take charge. The moment you decide to take charge, the flesh already knows it can't overrule you. It knows you are the boss. But in the absence of you taking control, well, then it's gonna say, well, I'll keep you alive. I'm gonna make sure I survive. I'm a flesh. Hey, and I'm not here for that long. I only get about 6, 7, 80, maybe 100 years, and then I'm gone. See, you gonna be born into another piece of flesh. You can give a damn about me. That's not true. I'm just joking. But that's kind of like the mentality I want you to understand that the flesh has, and that's why you don't just jump off a cliff or something, because the flesh you have a survival mechanism. They call it fight or flight and all this. The flesh always wants to protect us. And isn't the beautiful thing? All of this is set up. All I'm trying to teach you is how it all works. That's what anatomy is about. Teaching you the components of your vehicle and the situation you're born into. That's all I'm teaching you. This stuff is going to work whether you like it or not, or whether you get it or not. It's already working, and this work is going. There's some people who get achievements. They achieve the skill levels, and they get the payoffs. And then there's those just sit around and watch the other people's get. It don't care. See, that's why I tell people, God doesn't care. People care. God assigned the caring to you. You gotta get that. Forget about these. Don't let these people in the church tell you this stupidness. They want to keep you a perennial subject, paying that 10% tithing to their game. The time for that is over. Okay? You need to know who you are, take charge, and get your skills together. Okay, those of you who are meant to get it will stay here and stick with this and do it. It's really not much more to teach. The rest of this, the 2/3 of this, is all about teaching you how to repeat, how to use the law of cycles, which is cycle means to repeat. Start at the beginning, go around, start again, go around, start again, go around, start again, go around. It's just like your existence itself. You come into existence, you're born, you go around, you mature, you get older, and then boom, you're gone. Okay, your vehicle is gone. Your spirit moves to the next vehicle, and that spirit starts recording new things, and it's recorded into the subconscious mind. But consciously, you're not aware of it. And that's to protect you also. This structure and stuff is to protect you so you will keep moving forward. If you remembered all the people from your past, you'd never move forward. You'd keep trying to go backwards. And the universal spirit is not about that. You as a macro God is, again, in the movies from the past, the movies that you've watched before this one, I made it very clear. The universal spirit, you, the macrocosmic being, is only concerned about one thing and one thing only: its own existence. The perpetuation of its own existence, and the amperage that drives and moves that project forward is evolution. And it preserves evolution by any means necessary. And if that means cutting your memory off of your past life, you did it for a reason, because you knew you would always be focused on trying to get back to the old, and the universe don't want that. Forward. Forward, young man. Forward, young woman. Forward, folks. That's where you got to go. It's how it goes. It's how it's set up. I didn't create this. I'm just explaining to you how it's set up. And what I'm going to repeat occasionally, you don't have to take my word for it. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong that evolution moves forever forward. And anybody that gets in the way of that, like these white supremacists, I laugh, because I'm sorry, they are going to get mowed down. Because they're trying to box with God. You can't mess with God. Are you out of your mind? That's how naive these folks are. That's why I laugh at them when I hear them talking about how they're a supreme race and all this other stuff. I said, what are you talking about? Yeah, are you supreme in the sense that you're human? When all of us are human, that don't make us supreme. If you want to decide something is supreme, I would say is, are you spiritually aware? Because if you were spiritually, I know they're not. Because first of all, you can't be spiritually aware of the universal omnipotence of God, that's what you are, and still say that you're better than somebody else. I mean, it's like saying you're better than yourself. Anyway, so I don't want to delve in stupidity. I want to keep focused on maturity and strength and discipline, and that's where I want you to stay focused. Okay, I go back to cite those examples just so we understand, the difference between the mature learning of people who are neophytes like us, who are on the path of righteousness and learning to control the power and the authority given to us at birth. Okay, and those who are ready. That's what we're focusing on here. Okay, check my time. Okay, I'm 12 minutes into this. I did 28 minutes in that last one. Try to keep these movies down to an hour. Okay, so now let's continue with the structure of the anatomy of existence and you. So we know there's the macrocosmic being. We know that you are the microcosmic being. In other words, the macro does not have a mind. It has no emotions. It has no feelings. It doesn't make decisions. All it does is house that subconscious part of us that creates everything. Okay, and that subconscious part, which is you, the microcosmic being, the conscious part of the microcosmic being, housed within this physical vehicle that is a part of that which is manifested by the subconscious mind. The subconscious being is the subconscious part of us that creates everything, and it moves heaven and earth. And it doesn't have any feelings or emotions, none of that either. The only entity that has feelings and emotions and stuff is us. And that's symbolic. That story is told symbolically over and over again in all kinds of mythological. If you look at the Thor, and you look at all these different movies talking about Zeus and how he so loved man that he had mated with a human woman, and that woman gave birth to the son of Zeus and whatnot, and all the other Zeus's other sons that were in wherever they are, Mount Olympus and whatnot, how they were jealous and whatnot, all that nonsense, which is just, I want to tell you the story about how important you are. But they have to make up all these other stories, because you got to remember, a lot of times, at the time where a lot of this stuff was written, where they got these themes for these movies from, were written on tablets and things, where people were just unbelievably ignorant and naive. See, they went for a whole bunch of you got the Aztecs that were sacrificing their own people and cutting out hearts and eating hearts and doing all kinds of barbaric nonsense, because they were so ignorant and naive. Okay, there were no moral principles that said, well, we may not, they had nothing in them that said, well, we may not know what everything that is right, but they had nothing built into them to say, but we're not going to kill nobody and eat their heart and whatever. We'll figure this out, but we're going to do this without doing something as barbaric and horrendous as that, because they ain't even had no anesthesia. They're going to numb the person out. No, they didn't. Well, and they drew pictures of this stuff to say that they did this, because they didn't know. They would just, to show you, if you look at the creation of the planet, accretion, just look up accretion, accretion. That's when the planets were slamming into each other. It was barbaric. And again, that is just a larger macro expression of what we're doing right now, which is you have a lot of people that don't have the discipline. They don't have the focus to follow this stuff and be able to do what we're learning about right now. I mean, we're using these teachings to get money and wealth to solve our immediate environmental issues that will get us into a better, a more comfortable frame of mind to teach and spread the rest of this to the rest of the world, the rest of the people in the world, so they can build their own successes. There's plenty of money to go for everybody. There's enough money around here to go for everybody, as long as we're going to be using money. Okay? So that's what that's what you need to understand. That the process of learning is always messy. Making sausage is always messy, but the end product tastes great. And again, that's just a symbolic. When I say making sausage, accretion, people that were barbarians back then and couldn't read and do all this stuff, that's all a part of the evolutionary process. Okay? And the evolutionary process is a single two-word phrase to speak about becoming more perfect. You never become perfect. You just reach for it. That's what evolution is the process of reaching toward perfection. But the end of that road, I can already tell you what it is. I mean, because if you understand as above, so below, you understand that we are microcosmic beings having a human experience, living within harmony of the evolutionary process of becoming more perfect. But what is perfection? Perfection is being back to yourself. Again, it's a cycle. Starting at the beginning. That's why I said, as above, so below. Above is perfection. Okay? So there is a process. Once you reach perfection, then you start all over again. You go back to ignorance and not knowing nothing, and you start all the ride all over again. So that's the cycle. Okay? And all I'm doing is explaining it to you folks. And if you get it, you'll get it. Okay? Eventually we all will get it, because there's only one God. One ultimate perfection. And this whole journey is, we put ourselves here because once you become perfect, there's nothing to do. There's nowhere to go, and there's nothing to do. Folks, that's not fun. You are alive, and actually to have fun and to do something different, to not be perfect. That's why you're born the way you're born, not remembering your last life. You see? That's anatomy. I'm breaking it down for you. That's why you can't remember your last life. Because if you do, you won't move forward. And your last life, as full as it is with people that you love and care about, and your children and everything, as full as that is, and as a human, microcosmic being having a human experience, you should enjoy and feel every bit of that. Don't let nobody cut you out of nothing. If you love somebody, love them well. You care about somebody, care about them well. Okay? These are the components of existence, of life. These are the things that make life fun and fulfilling. Okay? Once you get this, folks, once you see what I'm giving you, once you learn to value what I'm telling you and what I'm explaining to you, what I'm describing to you, your situation and the power and authority that you were born with, once you get to work on mastering and getting those skills together, do you know what a beautiful world you can create just by your thought? And when I say move heaven and earth, that means your thought, when it becomes instant belief, you're a Jedi, you just think it, boom. And all of a sudden it comes around, situation, you play your lottery, you hit, nobody else hits, you hit. Why? Because you believe. You already hit it. So the machine made it happen. Period. When you understand that, it's just period. It's not complicated. It's not complicated. People say, oh, how can you teach people all this stuff? You don't have a PhD and all. I don't need no PhD. Ain't no PhDs in this. The only PhD is either those who do. Remember what Yoda said, do or do not. There is no getting ready or fitting about to. You either do it or you don't. You get it or you don't. If you don't get it, you continue to wallow in the nonsense. Once you get it, you get to work. You get to master it. So that when you think it, you do it. It happens. Bam. Just like rebirth. Once this life is over, evolution, you self as a macro being got no time for death. Death is nothing but a doorway into the next life. Bam! Like that. Just like your thought. Once the subconscious mind gets your thought, ain't no time. Time don't exist for the subconscious mind. Time only exists for the conscious mind. Because the subconscious mind is just like God, everywhere all the time. But its focus is creating stuff, moving heaven and earth to make stuff come into existence. Birth, wealth, attract, that it attracts you. You create attraction by creating clear visual thoughts and beliefs behind it with feelings and visual clarity. You attract those things through the machine, but you're not aware of the mechanism. You're not aware of the steps. It just happens. When you get your head and you got this, you understand it's just going to happen. Sometimes you can actually see it happens. Rarely. But for the most part, a movie and whatnot is nice because it spurs your imagination. It's very good. That's why I love some of these movies. But I don't do TV. I don't sit up and meditate on and repeatedly watch this news that only shows you the bad news. And every once in a while they put a little speckle. Oh, how nice. Look, somebody saved the doggy. But in the meantime, 99.9%, oh, somebody robbed somebody. Somebody stole something. Somebody killed somebody. You don't want to study that. And you sure. And okay, let me get into that. That brings me to another point. I'm not going to get too into that. But I'm going to focus on another thing too. Now, we broke down the macrocosmic spirit and the two characteristics and the Holy Trinity. Macro, okay, you the micro, subconscious mind together make up the macro. Okay. Macro has no mind, no feelings, no emotions. Time doesn't exist for it either. And it could create everything. And all of it is in you. Okay. Now, subconscious mind has no feelings, no emotions, and doesn't think. It gets all its thoughts from you. This mind right here. The subconscious mind is right here in the same mind. It's directly connected to you. And from you, it goes out into this whole thing that you see here called existence. Everything you see, and that's why they say in one of the books, it says, everything you see before you is nothing but manifested thought. And that's what it is. Because you thought it, somebody thought it, and the subconscious mind took it and made it, manifested it into being. And it moved heaven. When it said moved heaven and earth, that means it moved people. Okay? It moves people. The way things are done is through some things in nature. You have some things that are natural, like, you know, the water, movements of the water and the planet, a physical, what do you call physical manifestations, or what they call slow, I call it slower forms of manifestation, which they're just materials like paper and things like this. This is nothing but material manifested thought, but it's in the form of paper. It's, I call it slower. It's not, it's all living, but it's not organized living like the human being is, an organism. Okay? It's a different kind of organization, but it's lower form organization. It's slower form organization because it's hard, and it's like rocks are hard. But they are moving, but it's just slower. Okay? We are faster moving, and thoughts are even faster than that. Feelings are faster than that because they're untangible. They're so fast. Okay, everything vibrates. Everything, vibration is based on cycles. Okay, so everything is vibrating. Okay, everything is zeros and one digits, like they see in Matrix. Once Neo got it, he looked around and all he saw, everything was a digit. Everything was flowing digits. Okay, that's what the symbolic. That's what that was telling you symbolically. Okay, so. Okay, so we got those components together. So all of that, we understand that. Now we're going to get into lost my train of thought. Cycles, okay, as it relates to it'll come back to me. I kind of lost it. Okay, we you know, we use our minds, you know, to make things manifest. It'll come back to me. Lost it. Really, that was a very important point I really wanted to bring home to you guys. Okay. So now the thing is to get into the practice. Now, you know, we've talked about the anatomy. Let's see, is there anything else I need to remind you about with the anatomy? We talked about the reason why things don't just instantaneously manifest. That's a very important component. You understand that the less clarity, the less focused your vision and your thoughts are, and the less work you do with meditating repeatedly. You got to repeat things. If you don't repeat things, it won't happen. Simple as that. Everything is based on repeating. Your heart beats repeatedly. Okay? You repeatedly, the sun comes up and goes down repeatedly. These are cycles. Okay? Everything is cyclical. All right? That's another term you will hear, cyclical. Everything is cycles. Beginning, maturation, withdrawal, go down the bottom. Now, that's the point I was trying to make to you before. Even now, there is a cycle of manifestation within using your mind and everything. There are times where it is more effective. There's sometimes when it's always effective, but there are some things sometimes when it is more effective. And that's, you get more when you live within harmony of the cycle. Okay, right now we're in the lower part, we're right about here in the cycle. We're right about here. Okay, where down here on the bottom is where birth is and whatnot. Well, birth is human birth, and then there is thought birth. The birth of your thought is down here where you visualize and you're seeing it. Like I've been doing my meditation for the last 2 months. Every night. Playing this little thing in my ear right here. I have something on here, and that's what I wanted to show you. Is this thing here. Where's that? to, let me go back. Boom. Okay. This right here is an image, right? What I wanted to show you is right here. Oh, damn it. I hate when it does that. There is a, right here, you see this little red dot right here? That is an app that's called Recorder. It's called a voice recorder. Okay? You can take this app right here, this little app right here, this is where the red dot is. It's called a voice recorder. You can get that from the Apple Store. All right? It's called a voice recorder. All right? The little red dot. And what it'll allow you to do, and I would recommend you get one of these. You get one of these little screens right here, and you take this screen and you talk into the screen and you put your own voice. And when you do that, what I want you to do is take this now and get one of these little screens. I only brought you this. These screens are like $5. You can get the screen for $5 on Amazon. Okay, just this little screen right here. Because when you talk into this thing here, you'll get a popping sound, and you don't want that. You want to be able to say, I am a millionaire. I am perfect. I am a millionaire. I am perfect. I control my thoughts each and every day. I control every thought that comes into my mind. I am a millionaire. I am in complete control of my thoughts. I am in complete control of my thoughts. I am a millionaire. I am at complete peace and harmony with my environment. I am a millionaire. I am a millionaire. I am perfect. My health is getting better every day. I am perfectly healthy. I am a millionaire. I am in complete control of my thoughts. I am in complete control of my mind space. I control all of my thoughts and all of my feelings. I am in complete control of my thoughts. Okay, that's an example of how you're going to create your own thing. Now, once you do that, you can save that voice recording as an MP3. All right, then let me show you what it looks like when you bring that up. Where is it? Oh. Why the hell is that up there? Anyway, so when I go, so what I do is I go to my file. Oh, that's a picture of my file. I didn't realize it's not my real thing. Okay, then I'll go into my files, right? And I'll go into my files, right? Images, and right in here it says something that says audio. You go to audio. And then I have, what you do is you go to, well, what you can do is once you record something in your recorder, then you can take it and attach it. If you press on it, once you record something, it'll ask you, what do you want to do with it? And what you do is you go to sharing, and then you email it to yourself. Like I send it to my Gmail account, and it attaches that MP3 voice or recording to an email. And you email it to yourself. So now when you go and you open that up on your cell phone now, or you don't even have to do that. You can just play it, go back into the, when you go to downloads or you go to recorder, then everything you've recorded, if you push that, boom, it's here. And all I have to do now is press play, and on the left side it has these double arrows that go like this, that look like a cycle, and what that does is it repeats it forever. And that's what you want. And I put this in my ears, Bluetooth to my ear, and I play these things that I've created. Now I've went in and got myself an audio mixer, which are very cheap, folks. You can get this stuff for like, most of it is free. You can go online, Google, and get something called an audio mixer. And what you can do is you can cut out and delete out a lot of the mistakes, like when you're recording, sometimes you go, or you get the pops and things like that. You take all that out, and then what you can do is create a track, a soundtrack, and then you can copy the whole thing and put it behind it, and then bind it together, and now you got twice as much of what you said. And you can do it a third time. That's what I did. And then what I do is I get these binary chimes and things like that I can play in the background, and I put it together, and I made a nice little audio thing. And what I do is it plays in my ear while as I'm going to sleep, and I'm doing my visualizations of myself as a millionaire. I see myself talking at the podium after I have won the millions of dollars or won the lottery, and I'm telling the people, explain to them why I wanted to win, and I talk about, what I'm doing with you guys now, and how I'm going to take this to the next level, and how I'm going to start going out, and I'm going to reach out to Oprah, and reach out to other people who, I can try to work with that are already doing the work. People like Oprah, people like all the other people, successful people who have been using this system for decades, whether they knew it or not. I mean, Oprah used prayer and church and all that stuff, but she still get the same result. Don't see the machine don't care. Long as you believe. See, Oprah believed. That's all the machine cares about. Yeah, damn how you how you get to the facts and giving it what it needs. As long as it gets the signals that it needs to create stuff, it's going to start creating the moment it gets those signals. Don't care how you got there. That's why I don't put down the church altogether. I'm just saying I don't believe in this crap of 10% tithing and all that crap and staying there forever and just keep buying these $200 million jets and 8-9 doggone Bentleys and crap for some pastor. If I was a pastor, I would be ashamed to tell somebody that I've used my people. Disgraceful excuse for a leader. That's all. I wouldn't even want. I don't even want to be. I don't ever want to meet some TV, whoever his name is, and all these other phony pastors got people buying them jets and stuff. I would refuse that. I would say no. There are too many homeless people around. There's too many doggone children around here that in orphanages and stuff for me to be flying around in a $200 million jet. It's an insult. That's just me. That's just the way I roll. Okay? And I wouldn't allow it. I'll make my own doggone money. You got the power? Why do I need you to buy me a jet? I can think up my own doggone jet if I want a jet. I'm not trying to be away from people. What kind of mess is that? If you live in your life in such a way you can't even be around people. I mean, I understand Oprah's a millionaire and she's got to be saved. People try to kidnap her and hold her for ransom and stuff. Yeah, I understand that. I really do. I get it. I get it. Okay? I get that part of it. But I really don't want to be like that. I don't want to be that famous. I don't really want all that. I just want to be able to talk to people and give you what you need. I'm going to get my own. I'm a Jedi. I'm using the power. I'm just teaching other people about it. Hell, that's why I haven't put these videos out yet. I haven't hit the lottery yet. Once I hit that lottery, it's going to be really widespread videos. It's going to forget about it. It's going to be on. Believe that. And I'm trying to get my niece and my nephew and my sons, I'm trying to get them on track so they can get out here and kick some butt and be an example of this system and how it works. And again, it's not unique to them. This is for everybody. You all have this authority and power built in. You just don't use it. You just don't believe. That's why you haven't gotten this stuff. You just haven't believed. But that's how it works. Okay? So now you saw how I do it. And I just started doing this. I'm not telling you nothing that I haven't just started doing. This is new, fresh off the press. Okay? That's what I do. Again, what I was talking about is the cycle. Right now we're here. So you should have been doing it the moment September came. That's when you go knee deep into your meditations. You should be meditating every day. Okay? And meditation is going to begin to be a thing where now You got to remember, you're controlling. Meditation is about controlling the thoughts that are going through your mind space. That's all meditation is. Hell, you could be walking down the street, you could be jogging and focusing on your thoughts, focusing on your jogging breathing, focusing on the thoughts that are going through your head, deciding which thoughts are going through your head. Now you're thinking. See, everything else, that's not really thinking. That's thoughts going through your head. When you decide and pick the thoughts that go through your head and how long they stay there, whether it's a visualization, that's a thought. Okay? You don't have to see words or hear words coming through. No. A thought is what you're looking at, what you're seeing. Even because you're going to see yourself talking to somebody. Okay? You can hear a thought. You can make yourself hear what you want. Anytime you're choosing what you want to come through here, you're practicing Jedi stuff. You're practicing being a master. And the more you practice, the better you're going to get. And once you realize all this time that you have not been thinking, you're going to say, wow, man, I have been wasting time. Because time only exists here. Finite is here. Once you go into the subconscious mind, you're into the realm of infinite. That's why the machine has unlimited power to create and manifest. Because it's more closely, directly connected. It is God. It is the direct element of God. You cannot see it. You cannot touch it. Way too big. Way too big. Because it is God. Forget about all that. Just know it's there. And your interface with it is this mind right here. The only mind that matters in all of existence. I know that scares the living hell out of you. But I'm sorry. I got to tell you the truth. The only mind that matters in existence and the only mind that there ever really is yours. You see why they don't want you to know that? You interface directly with God, yourself, the macro, through this. Just imagine there's a probe in the back of your head. Like me, I got a little spot right in the top of my head. I don't even know where the hell it came from. It's just some little white spot right there. See that little white spot? I don't even know where the hell that thing came from. But it reminds me that it makes me feel like I'm directly, but it's not an outward thing. It's within. This connection is an internal, unseeable. It's not a physical. You can't see this. Okay? They don't want you to know this. They do not want you to know this. Because once you start thinking for yourself and you are a free, independent person, purposefully following the rules, being disciplined, realizing and feeling your power, and knowing you can create anything you want, but deciding you want to have just a humble, reasonable world. Me, I want a nice house, big house with 2 Teslas, 3, 4 Teslas. I already know I want 2 X model Teslas, definitely 1 blue one. I'm contemplating whether I want a gray or a white one, a Model X. I don't want no P. I don't need all that power crap. But I do want a D, a 90D or 100D. I want the dual. Okay, I already know exactly what I want. That's me. It's just Russell. Y'all may be, you want to go live out in the woods and whatnot in a cabin somewhere. Man, nothing wrong with that. You might be wanting to be surrounded by more animals than I do. I want only 4. But I want them to live with me and I will live with them. They're domestic animals. Some people want to live next to natural animals out in nature and bond with them. And you are quite capable of doing that, but you better know what you're doing. See, I'm not into all of that adventurous stuff. My particular vehicle that I was born into is genetically predisposed to only wanting to be with domesticated animals. I want 2 cats, 2 dogs, and maybe a parrot. You know, one of them nice talking cute parrots that, you know. That's all I really want. And after that, got a nice big house with big garage, because I want two Archimoto, all my vehicles electric, and I'll keep one hybrid electric automotive vehicle for my mother, because she still want to be driving in them Lexuses and stuff, you know. And that's gonna be gas powered, but hybrid. I'm not even gonna allow her to put that. And she ain't putting that in my garage. I don't want that in my house. I want that thing sitting outside somewhere. You know, I don't want those monoxide gases anywhere near my house. And you know, and even the all electric cars, I'm not taking no chances with them. That's gonna be in a ventilated, thoroughly ventilated, exhaust ventilated garage. I'm taking no chances with that. I don't want no. Oh, by the way, we found out that, you know, the batteries give off gas. I'm going for that. We're gonna prepare for that too. You know, that's how deep my visuals are. That's me. Now, you guys, you can do whatever you want. See, that's the beauty of this. But what I will say to you is, keep your visualizations and whatever you want to create in a disciplined, balanced form, where you're not stepping on anybody's toes. Me, I'm going to have solar panels up on the roof. I'm going to have battery backup systems out on both sides of the house. I'm going to structure my house so that it's up on the hill, so in case there's a flood, my house won't get flooded. I'm doing the whole shabuki. It ain't catching me off guard. Not going to happen with me. That's just the way I'm going to roll. You see Star Wars? You see the way Luke and all them well, Luke was living like a hermit. I don't understand his problem. You know, but I will go with his father Anakin. You see the way he was living. I wouldn't be evil like that, but I will definitely have my own, you know, nice little place and whatnot, like Leia and those folks, the way she was raised as a diplomat's daughter. Yeah, that's how I want to roll. That's just my choice. I've always been automotive, you know, by nature, mechanical by nature. That's why I'm doing this, because I'm very mechanical. I always want to know how things work. Okay? But again, let's get back to it. We're in that bottom part of the cycle. So once September comes, from September to March, September, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, 6 months. 6 months, starting in September, you reach a peak. September, October, November, December. November, December, those are the bottom, and that's the best time to be sowing your seeds and doing your meditations and visualizations for what you want to come into manifestation. This is the cycle of manifestation. You getting your seed sowing starts in September. I learned this in spiritual culture when I was 22, and they were absolutely right about that. Your seed sowing starts in September. It reaches a peak of sowing in, say, December, November, December, January, early January, all of December, part of the latter part of November. September, October, November. All right. By the time you get to the end of November and the beginning of December, like most of November and December, I would say November, December are your, astronomically or astrologically, I think astrologically it's called the winter solstice. Okay, and that means it's the peak of seed sowing. You're supposed to be fasting, meditating, focusing on what you want to manifest come spring. Spring starts in January, February. Let's see. No, you got September, October, November, December, January, February. So if February is the end, is the cutoff for seed sowing, the seed sowing part of the cycle. The rest of the cycle from starting in March 01, is manifestation time. Whatever you've been sowing all that time is going to start to see manifest, and that's where they call it spring. See? Spring forward. Okay? And then you'll get to summit, which will be summer. And after summit, you will start heading back, you know, so you got March, April, May, June, July, August. So April, May, June. June is the peak. March, March, April, May, June. May and June, that's when you really start seeing things manifest. May and June. All right? Because then you got July and August, which you enjoy the rest of the ride of what you already to manifest, what you already manifested, okay, from your last winter's work, okay, and fall and winter, okay. Now, once you hit the end of August, you go into September, starts all over again. See? Starts all over again. Everything is cycles. So whatever you don't get right that cycle, you got next cycle to get it right again. And each year, you get both of these cycles. It's actually 4 cycles. It's 4 elements of the cycles, because we call it fall, winter, spring, and summer. Spring and summer, you know, I put like spring is here, summer is here. Summer is the 2 months of what do you say, April, May, and June. Those are like the peak. June is the peak of summer. Everybody says summer starts in like July something. Yeah, they're right, because that's the end of the peak. You know, and then from July on to August, it starts to go down. The days start to get, I think, shorter after summit. The days start to get summer. The daylight time gets shorter. Okay, and then because by the time you get to September, it continues to get shorter until you get to the bottom, which is it's like December, January, November, December, January. December actually is the winter solstice. Okay, forget what it is, equinox or whatever they call it, and that is the peak of the fall season, or the down cycle. Okay. And that's where you should be meditating and visualizing and doing everything, because come spring, come March, you know, April, May, you're going to start to see everything manifest. May, June, that's really where everything's going to start happening. That's why I don't like September, because September usually is, you know, anybody who, you know, is going to get sick or die or anything like that is going to happen starting in September, from September all the way through clean till you get to March. That's why I can't wait for February to come. I mean, I like to do my meditation. I love it for that, but I don't like what happens. And you know, I accept it because I know it's life. I know the cycles. I've been doing this for 22 years. I'm not surprised, but everybody else around me is. But I always try to warn people. I say, listen, come September, watch out. It's going to get ugly. Anything that's weak, anything that's not solid, like right now, I'm in unbelievable amounts of pain. Because this is man, this is like, we're talking January. I can't wait for this February to come and get it out the way, because boy, my arthritis and my gout and everything is carrying on. And this is when it normally does this, starting in September. So I got 6 months of absolute, if I don't eat absolutely perfectly and whatnot, I'm in trouble. I'm going to feel some stuff. Okay, but these are the cycles. I wanted to make sure we covered the cyclical nature of creation, with your thoughts and your feelings and your beliefs. That's why you want to keep pounding. You want to keep, boom, bam. You're going to repeat this over. Everything is repeat, 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 repeat. And see, while you're repeating, you're staying focused on this thing. A whole bunch of thoughts can't be coming through. It just can't happen. There's only one thing can be in this mind space at a time, and that's what you decide. Whether you decide or not, whatever's in there is in there. There's nothing else can come in. Whatever's in there has to be pushed out to put something else in. A whole bunch of different thoughts can't be in it at the same time. Not in a healthy mind. Okay? And somebody who's mentally off, they are in trouble, because they're chemical. See, this is a chemical related, this is a electromagnetic chemical reaction here. So that's why they can give you a certain pill and they can get this right once they understand what's going on in your head. Thank God we have the technology now that they can look and see what's going on with your mental, the rhythms and the vibrate, they can look at the readings, you know, the sinusoidal waves of your brain waves, and they can see what's going on. They can tell Now, they can get indications of what's going on. And when you are out of control of your own mind, people can come in and help you. See, this is where we need to be working on, folks. That's where I am. I ain't got no time for none of this other nonsense. See, and why am I this way? Look, this is how I was born. Okay? I'm not arguing with none of that. I'm just telling you, that's how I am. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing with this tape. I am a healer. I am a teacher. I am a person who helps bring the whole evolutionary process forward. That's my job. Just like the subconscious mind is to create stuff. Well, my job is to educate people, heal people, move toward universal healthcare, universal job, universal housing. I don't care what nobody thinks. I'm in harmony with God. Now you come on and mess with me if you want to. You might get a couple of blows in, but at the end of the day, you're not going to stop this. You can't stop this. I ain't even afraid. What you going to do? Kill the body? I'll be back. And another body doing the same damn thing again, only twice as hard. That's how this goes. And I know it without any doubt. See, this is where y'all got to get. See, because then you won't be scared. And that's what, I don't like no scared people around me. That means you don't even know what the hell is going on. You haven't gotten it yet. Once you get this, you ain't scared. The worst thing could happen is you lose the vehicle. But I tell you one thing, when my vehicle go, I'm taking me 2 other vehicles with me that's trying to take me out. That's my rule. That's a personal rule. If I see you coming and you come to me straight up, 2 of y'all is going with me into the recycle, into the next life. I'm not going alone. Because I'm taking 2 of these negatives, I'm taking 2 of them out with me. And everybody else with me, y'all take 2. Each one take 2. Each one reach one, each one teach one on the positive side. On the negative side, when we go into battle, take 2. Just take 2. Take at least 1. Take 1 out, 2 out. Okay? That's how I roll. Alright, so get into these cycles. See, get into these cycles. This is what this whole thing is about. That's why I'm teaching anatomy. This is the most important part of the whole teaching. To know about God is good. To know about the subconscious mind is great. But to know that you are authorized by both. You are the source of life. Once you get your head around that, and believe you me when I tell you this, these people in authority, why do you think they don't want to educate you about this? They don't want you to know this. They want to stay in charge, but they know this stuff already. They don't want you to know it. Because then they can't control you. They can't stop the evolution of God. And all they want to do is slow it down so they can continue to enjoy the greed and whatnot and the things that they got and say, oh, these stupid people, they don't know. We just tell them whatever we want to tell them. While they getting it together, we going to just keep eating all the grapes and just eat everything for ourselves. All for us. Trump and his people, all for us. More for us. Don't give a damn. See, that's why to me they're like fat cells within the body politic of God. You know, I don't want to wipe them out, but they definitely will be stopped. They're not going. See, they're going to be stopped from stopping us from healing the rest of the people. There should be no poverty at a certain point, because this is the body politic of God. You can't have a bunch of sick people rolling around. Everybody needs to be healthy. Everybody needs to have something, so the body politic of God can be healthy. You dig? That's the motivation. That's the motive. That's called righteousness. That's the motivation of righteousness, baby. I'm sorry. And you just got to get your head around that. And then you'll understand what drives us righteous people. The people who are the Jedis, who are the guardians, okay, of decency. of the quality of life. You know, somebody has to be direct. That's why Democrats, I love being a Democrat. We are about making sure that everybody has a certain quality of life. Republicans don't give a damn about nobody except themselves. Period. Democrats, that's why we are multiculturalists. We care about the body politic of the whole body of God. Not just the white ones. Not just the rich ones. We care about the whole body politic of God. Anybody get in the way of that, we'll mow you down. We don't even have to do nothing. God will come in and mow your ass down. Because you're messing with evolution. And God is ready to go up and move forward and be more educated and have better health care and be a stronger body. Okay? That might make no. We don't want to be great. We want to be better. I mean, great is for the arrogant. You just want to be the best you can be right now. All of this crap. Get your head around this, folks, and let's get to work. Okay? I'll see you in the next movie.